leading up to the National, the one thing I want to discuss, and we'll keep it very brief, because Jesse brought up a good point. We can't cross-contaminate too much and wear out content that I do on the Geo Talks YouTube stuff over here. But this point to me is very important. The amount of people downplaying the buying opportunity right now is becoming, it's not an issue, but it's leaving a lot of opportunity. I say this because everybody knows, very well noted, the market is in the tank right now for a lot of things, especially modern, but even not modern stuff. There's a lot of things that vintage stuff up from 2.5 years ago, way, way down from the peak. A lot of kind of like the modern vintage, I guess, like the Bradys, the Paytons, the Duncans, all that type of stuff too. The 90s era, even early 2000s, way, way down. Obviously, the ultra modern stuff has gotten hammered. And liquidity has slowed for some, as we talked about leading up to the National. The guys just don't sell because a lot of people are in the mindset of, I want to bring this and just make more money selling it live at my table. Good on them. Other people are like, well, I don't want to buy and spend money before the National because I want to have my bankroll in Chicago with me. Again, nothing wrong with either of those. But I said the other day, and I made another deal this morning, I have bought more in the last calendar week, I would say, than I have in the last year. I've bought more in this week than any week in the last year to year and a half, I think.
Have you really? I haven't
not
even
only
heard about this.
Not only in terms of cards, like the amount of cards, but the amount spent. Take out like the crazy. Hey, I went out and bought a $50,000 Jordan. Like we've had some crazy individual, but buying for the purpose of grading, flipping, or just selling as is whatever. The opportunities have been bountiful.
Do you mind giving details as to how much and what specifically you've been buying?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, very, very wide open.
Okay.
One thing I've done, and everybody I've bought from has agreed to it. I'm like, hey, I'll comp everything. I'll send you the list of stuff I want, and here's the comp price. I'm paying 70%.
Oh, okay.
70% net to them.
Like and are you basing that off of prices? Like, so they go to Card Ladder,
Yep.
they see the price.
$100 card, I'll pay 70.
Okay.
And it's too low for some guys. Totally understand. Not a big deal. Again, buying lots. I think the smallest lot was probably 14, 15 cards.
Okay.
And the bigger ones, like yesterday, I made a deal, 55, 60 cards.
Like single player or
Literally everything.
what players?
Man, that's a good. Actually, you know what? I have it on my Google sheet.
Oh, do you keep track of it? Like,
Yeah, I've been doing individual deals. I keep track of them now by the deal. Like, hey, I spent this amount. This was my comp price. This is what I sell for.
now I know in the past what you've done is taken these and put them in like some of your repacks that you'll do. Is that for this or is this
A lot of that.
individual flipping?
85% will be in the repack.
Okay.
I can control. That's why. So I bought a bunch. Okay, so one guy, as a matter of fact, I bought as much of him as probably anybody. Julio.
Oh.
J-Rod stuff is way down. He struggled this season. Pricing has come way, way down. Bought a couple nice autos and a couple rookies. I brought and I want to say I probably have bought 100 to 125 cards total across the board. A lot of Ohtani, which is weird. Ohtani is not what he was a month ago in price, even though he's having a crazy historic run. I think that's kind of an interesting buy right now.
Interesting.
Pete Alonso's another guy. Oh, boy.
No. I'm just
thinking about Threads?
No. No. I had a look on my
laughter.
face. That's
Good
why
for
he's
you.
asking that. The reason I'm thinking about it is because you're talking about, oh, there's such good buying opportunities, but it does make me wonder if guys are willing to sell it at 70% to you, and they probably aren't going to, most people are not going to say, hey, I'll buy it from you for 70%. I don't think they're going to actually get many offers. But, you being a public figure and people know who you are.
Fair point. That's fair.
So-
So other people may have to bump it up to 75%.
Okay.
But I think even that right now is realistic. Take away the fact that I just have a lot of existing relationships. I think a lot of people right now are willing to make moves because they want liquidity back. And eBay is a little bit slower. And again, things have slowed down leading up to National.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of this is baseball, by the way. A number of Pete Alonso, another guy, started off crazy hot, leading the league in home runs, injured. He's down a little bit. I bought a bunch of him. Vlad, a number of Vlad. And I'm not talking big cards. Like, I think the most expensive individual cards I've bought were probably comping, well, one of the big, some in the 4, 5, 6 range, but the majority of them, $250 or less. I love that. That's my world.
Okay.
$300 cards and less, I just think there's more turn and burn. You have to work a little bit more, but the margin is better. Because I
Sure.
think it's easier to move a card that's in the $90 to $100 range. Even if I put in a repack at 105, I think that's easier. So there's an extra 5% on top of the high end of comp, as opposed to trying to move a $750 card for $8.50 to make 8 extra percent. Like the number is just so much bigger to try to mark those big cards up. So
Are you caring anything about pop counts at all?
no, not
Okay.
at all. By the way, this was funny. I bought a ton of Zion stuff. I bought probably 8 to 10 Zion PSA 10s or SGC 9.5s. Surprisingly, there were no PSA 9s and no SGC 10s. Literally $10 to $15.
For what, base? Silver? What are we talking about?
Almost all just different base.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, who cares? At $15, if you get that in a repack and that's a crap hit. So say the repack is $40 and you get on the card, the way I have always done it, I have been doing it the last year or two. If you get, let's say round numbers. So for a $15 card, I would say the buy-in would be no more than $45. So worst case scenario, $45 pack, you get a $15 card. Number one, I like that Zion in that spot because there's upside. Number two, I always put hobby packs in with the week. So you could pull out, I mean, we've pulled some pretty big stuff out of the packs too. But to me, that stuff is so cheap. There's just no reason not to.
Okay.
And a lot of baseball guys. Football was the one I had a little bit of trouble buying right now because a lot of guys are like, man, I would, but I
They
kind
know
of
they
rather
can
just
get some more.
kind of rather just hold a month and see. Having said that, Danny Dimes, I bought 2 or 3 of him. I bought some Deshaun Watsons. I tried to focus on guys who ended or dropped off harshly after the season. So